Sorry for that interruption. We left at where we were talking about the evolution of management thought. So when we say that management evolution, we try to look at the history of management. Where did management come from? Okay, and remember, initially or from the beginning, we agreed that in management we have got so many theories. Yeah, there are so many theories, there are so many authors who have come up with different ways of management. So when we talk about evolution, we are talking about the history of what other people felt about management. Yeah, and since management is dynamic, new ways have come up that we are able to run management effectively. So when we talk about management, we need to talk about the importance of this kind of theories. Why are they important? We say they're important because they help the managers to be able to understand the current development and to be able to avoid the mistakes that happened in the past. Yeah, so these theories are more of corrective theories. They try to identify issues that happened previously in management, and they try to come up with solutions so that the same mistakes would not be repeated. Okay? Yeah, so we've got very basic, we've got different types of management. We've got what we call the classical school. Now, the classical school of thought, this one started or emerged in the 20th century. This particular theory is divided into two areas. We've got the scientific management, where we say scientific revolves around ways on how jobs could be designed to ensure that we get maximum output per employee. And now we also have the other method of classical theory, which we call the classical organization theory. So the management theories are divided into two. We've got the scientific, and we also have got the administrative. Now, under scientific, we've said their main objective was to determine how jobs could be designed in order to ensure maximum use or output per employee. Employee means the person or the junior staff who is working. Under the same, we had somebody called Frederick Taylor. Yeah, so Frederick Taylor came up, and he was actually an engineer from the United States. And that time, when he came up with this theory, there was a shortage of skilled labor. Skilled labor means people who are trained to do specific jobs. There was a shortage of skilled labor. So this theory was, he came up with it to ensure that factories are able to expand productivity, which would also increase in terms of efficiency on employees. Okay, so this particular theory was more based on skilled labor. Okay, then we also had another author or another person called the Gilbreth. Yeah, Gilbreth came up with this theory from around 1888 to 1924. Yeah, and now this was based on a theory. These two, it was a couple. Yeah, Gilbert and his wife Lillian. Yeah, so they looked at ways of promoting the welfare of the individual employee. Now, this theory was based on ways under which they were able to improve the welfare of the employee. So we also have another author called Henry Gantz. Yeah, so under the scientific theory, now this person came up with a device, yeah, an equipment for scheduling work after a span of time. So this is a scheme whereby, or this is a theory which revolved around, looking for ways of capturing information about employees, perhaps maybe on their overtime, yeah, etc. Now, this method, this particular scientific management method, had its own limitation. Limitation means the disadvantages. Okay, so during that the Taylor's time, yeah, he advocated uh, about an often increased productivity, which led to layoffs. Now we are talking about when Taylor's came up with his theory. Okay, there was advocated, came about as a result of productivity. So productivity means there was a lot of output, and therefore this led to layoff. Layoff means that people were declared redundant. Yeah, they lost their jobs. Okay, it is also assumed that people are rational and therefore motivated only by material gains. Now, the employee looked at it in terms of what they were gaining. Okay, so this particular method, the scientific management, had its own disadvantages, and that has been captured in that small subtopic. Then we also came up with another method or another theory, which we call the behavioral school of management. Now, behavioral means how the employees behaved. Yeah, how do employees behave when they are at their workplaces? Now, we had different theories that came from different authors. We had somebody called Mary Parker. Mary Parker recognized the importance of individual, but advocated that no one could become a whole person except as a member of a group. So therefore, she believed a lot in teamwork. You can work as a group to come up with the objectives of an organization, unlike when you worked alone. We also had another person called Chester Barnard. Yeah, so this also mentioned about people coming together in formal organization to achieve things they cannot achieve when they are working as individuals. Okay, so this was based mostly on how human beings behave themselves in a workplace. Then we had another theory which we call the quantitative school of management. So this is the third thought, which focus mostly on quantitative or on measurement, yeah, on the outputs. Yeah, it captured more on the output, and it originated with the British military in the World War II, which was faced with many problems of warfare, and they had to find better ways to deal with issues that revolved around the military's movement, the arms production, etc. So now, this method of management theory is divided into three groups. You have got the management science, we've got the operational management, and the MIS, or what we call the management information system. Okay, so that one you have the notes which I think you will need to read. But just as I said earlier, in case you have issues that you would want to clarify, please feel free to contact me. Now, we've got another theory there called the contemporary management theory. Okay, now this theory revolved around the status of schools of thought, but they still provide useful insights into the understanding of management. Okay, now among these we have what we call the contingency theory, we've got the management theory, and we've got management excellence and process theory. Okay, now under the contingency theory, we talk about the management coming up with action which depends on prevailing situation or the prevailing time. Yeah, according to this theory, there are no ready-made universal answers. So every time you have issues, management issues, they are resolved according to that particular time. So you can't say because we applied this last time we have to apply it again. No, we are saying these theories are dynamic, they keep changing depending now with prevailing situation. So we also have the system theory. Now, this theory looks at how organization function and operate as a system that is a subsystem of a much bigger system. Okay, now under this, we are trying to say it's a process by which organization receives feedback, and this feedback is interrelated to a set of elements that function as a whole. So we are saying for you to operate, you need to work under a certain system. Therefore, from this small system that you work from, you're able to give feedback to a bigger system, and therefore the organization is able to achieve its objective. Okay, then we have the other theory that we call the theory Z. Yeah, in the theory Z of management is a new approach. This is actually the modern approach to management. However, it has not been able to withstand the test of time, and it's not therefore certain to evolve it into a fully developed theory. So this is still a progressing theory. Okay, it was popularized in the early 80s by somebody called William Auchi. During this time, there was a great of issues to do with a Japanese company, and in this Japanese company, during the American and the world trade, they had their own trade differences. Okay, so this one talks about this guy studied about succeeding American firms in order to determine why and how they continue to be successful when they were companies losing ground. So this one talks about a particular scenario whereby the American companies had issues during the world trade, and it happened in the early 1980s. So the theory there is defined, and this guy came up with a way to ensure that companies continue to be successful regardless of what had happened before. Okay, that's what we call the theory Z. And also there are some aspects of this Japanese management, okay, where we say the practice of management always reflects the culture of a society. So the Japanese management theory has certain aspects which are borrowed from their own culture. Okay, then we also say the Japanese manager places a lot of emphasis on generating harmony amongst the members of that organization. Okay, so these theories have came up during different times. Yeah, and therefore we say they have continued to be progressive. And in these management theories, we are saying you cannot base your conclusion on certain theories because they have been borrowed from past instances, and that's why we are saying to avoid a repeat of previous issues. Okay, so it is important for us to exercise these theories, but also to ensure that we don't repeat mistakes that happened in the past. So I hope I'm very clear on that. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.